So, sports fans and Sky Sports fans, let's get the action underway. 12 rounds of boxing for the British Super Featherweight Championship.
All right, guys, you both know the rules of boxing. Spoke to you both in the dressing room. You know what I expect. Act like professionals at all times. Any questions? Let's go to work.
The Yorkshire Derby is almost with us. Gary Sykes wouldn't look Carl Johanneson in the eyes. He was looking over his shoulders during those final instructions. He's been under the sunbed, making himself look the part. Now he's got to fight the part. They always say about any fighter, the last thing you lose is your punch. And Carl Johanneson said to me, I'm going to be looking for him for every minute of every round, as far as it goes, and I'll be looking for that knockout shot, and I will knock him out.
Well, this was going to be a hard fight for Gary Sykes, even before he got knocked out in one round. This is making it even tougher for him. Obviously, there's bound to be a little bit of a mental scar there.
Johanneson looking to get in close, land those body shots, which can have a telling effect as the fight unfolds. Head's going in a little bit close, and he's really looking to tee off and load up on those hooks.
Well, this was always going to be the time where Carl Johanneson was going to try and land with the big punches. He's got to try and get the mental strength in there. He's got to become the boss, and that's what he's trying to do.
Sykes said he's underestimated my strength. We'll see about who's the strong man when we get in there. He thinks that Johanneson has underestimated that side of it. Well, it's an interesting opening round so far. You can hear that most of the support is for Gary Sykes, the champion.
Sykes getting off with some decent counters, but he's having to work hard in this opening round. Normally quite a slow starter.
Johanneson's found his way through with that left-hand lead on more than one occasion. Johanneson having to get down to 9 stone 4, of course, for the first time in 3 years, in his 3 comeback fights after that layoff, after the Kevin Mitchell defeat. He was never close to 9 stone 4. He's employed a nutritionist, John Wilkinson, to help govern his diet to get him down to that. But how telling will that weight loss prove as the fight unfolds?
Well, Johanneson's got a good high-held guard, which is blocking some of the jabs and hooks from Sykes. But a good pace for this opening round. What should be an exciting fight.
Sykes with a very good amateur pedigree. Looked as though he was going to be a puncher when he first turned pro, but as he's stepped up in class, he's had to rely more on his speed, more on his boxing skills. I'm sure he would have felt more than a little bit apprehensive, more than a little bit nervous after that, what was a shattering knockout against Gary Buckland, as he stepped into the ring and finishing with a nice eye-catching flurry in the last few seconds of an interesting opening round, and incurring a warning, a little bit of a talking to from Marcus McDonald, the referee.
So slow, that big right hand is throwing, you can see it a mile off.
Fascinating words of instruction in that corner from Julian McGowan while you've been away. He's saying, just wait. He said he's dry, he's nothing in his punches, as referring to Carl Johanneson and saying, just wait your time, concentrate on what we've been working on and box him. Don't go looking for the knockout.
Yeah, very interesting in that corner. He was very hyped up, wasn't he, Gary Sykes? It was a good, friendly sort of first round with Johanneson landing some good, solid jabs and covering up well as Sykes looked to throw the counters.
Gary Sykes has been living with Julian McGowan for 3 weeks in the run-up to this fight to get himself absolutely mentally right, and they've been working very much on that side of it, Julian McGowan and Chris Aston, and the crowd responding every time he starts to land punches. But there's a look about Johanneson as though he is certainly going in there with confidence and with belief.
Well, Sykes, nice counter left there, just had Johanneson off balance. But Sykes doesn't look like he's going to follow instructions. He looks as if he wants to get straight in and take this fight to Carl Johansson.
Well, how wise is it if he's going to risk getting into a tear-up with Johansson, who, by common consent, if you talk to any of the top trainers around the country, I spoke to 2 or 3 yesterday, and they said, yeah, it's about the power of Johansson earlier on, and Sykes cannot afford to be complacent in those early rounds.
Johansson just clipping him just on the chin with the left hook. But this has been a better round for Sykes, who's getting through with more of the punches, hit the gloves a lot in the opening round.
Yeah, he was just trying to impress, you sense, a little bit too much in the first 3 minutes, a little bit of what Brendan Ingle used to call herky-jerkiness. He wasn't quite settling down into a rhythm, and this is far better now.
But he's throwing a lot of shots, Sykes, so he's also leaving himself open at times. But definitely the better work in the second so far from Gary Sykes.
But Johansson has walked down Ricky Burns in the past. He had great success in the middle rounds against Kevin Mitchell. Looked at one stage around about the 6th as though he was going to beat Mitchell. Didn't work out that way, of course. So we know that he remains dangerous. And again, he gets the telling off from Marcus McDonnell, who's had to speak to Sykes twice and won't take too much more. Johansson trying to come in with that right hand over the top. The edge in work rate significantly, though, with Sykes in this second round. He's thrown a lot more punches.
But solid punches from Johansson. The jabs worked well as it did in the first, but it just done slightly more. Gary Sykes thrown a lot more.
We don't want to go yet.
We're a bit stronger that round.
Here's Julian McGowan again emphasising to Gary Sykes, don't go in there yet, let's rely on boxing. Johansson being told at the same time, let's not throw single shots, let's start to throw combinations, let's double up.
Good shots from Gary Sykes, getting through the guard in the second. He hit a lot of the gloves in the opening round, but better in the second.
So into the third round, and Johansson has been told, right, you felt what he's got, let's get in there now and start to engage. It might be that there's going to be more drama in this third than there was in the second, which Sykes, through his work rate, dominated despite the quality jabs which were coming in through from Johansson. You might be wondering why Gary Sykes is still the champion, having lost in prize fighter. Well, the reason for that is that it wasn't made at the championship weight, 9 stone 4, it was made at 9 stone 5, so he retains the belt despite being beaten by Gary Buckland, who, well, if the buzz is accurate, is being lined up for a possible European title shot before too long at lightweight.
Well, Sykes looking to give good side-to-side movement and get fast punches off, of which he's doing, and doing quite well at the beginning of this round.
That right, which thudded into the ribcage of Gary Sykes, is what Johansson is looking to find more of. There's another one. Turning them around the elbows of Sykes and trying to accumulate some sort of effect. Take the spring out of the legs, and Sykes looks in terrific shape, doesn't he? Really does look as though he's got himself into great condition for this.
Well, he knows how important this fight is, and he has to win, really. And he's obviously trained accordingly, but he's having to work very, very hard, isn't he? Moving around the ring an awful lot, throwing out lots of punches, not all landing. Missing with quite a few, but still getting through with more than Johansson.
Threw a left hook to the body a few seconds ago, and I just sensed that Johansson just winced a touch at the power that Sykes was able to tee off on him. Only the 4 stoppage victories in his 17 wins, Gary Sykes, not a noted puncher. cheered every time he lands, of course. Johanneson not with as many supporters in the auditorium, which can sometimes sway judges.
But Johanneson, big wild right hand, still getting through with plenty of his own.
I'll tell you what, that left hook only missed by a whisker. Sykes has to maintain concentration.
Another solid right hand and left hook lands from Johanneson.
Well, it's an interesting round. Johanneson had a bit of success in the closing seconds. More, though, landed from Sykes. 3 rounds completed. That's how me and Glenn see it. Let's join Ed with Richie Woodall.
Well, Richie, how are you reading the fight?
Sykes is definitely winning the fight. It's going well for him because Johanneson just can't handle the movement of Sykes. That's his biggest problem. He can't handle that movement. Sykes is coming in from different angles, and Johanneson, his feet are far too slow. And I'm just wondering whether making the weight has had an effect on Johanneson. But hey, there's only 3-4 rounds gone. There's still a long, long way to go. But Sykes is boxing the right fight. His tactics are spot on. Fast movements, fast hands, and around the side.
Sykes' corner is still a bit wary of Johanneson, though. They want Sykes to continue to box.
And rightly so, because you're in against a big puncher here, and as I said before, he can produce punches in the early fight, mid or long. So he's very, very dangerous. He's got to concentrate.
Thanks, Richie.
Carl Johanneson in his last fights against George Watson, which he won on points in January, had Watson down in the 7th round and was looking as though he was regaining his best form in that fight. So far he's not significantly hurt Sykes. Needs to land more, needs to start to accumulate points, needs to get into range and tee off on the body of the taller man.
But still very early in the fight. Decent left hook from Johanneson as Sykes was trying to land to the body.
And he just wants to give a little bit of ground, Sykes. And when power punches like that go in, you just wonder again about the psychology of this fight and that defeat against Gary Buckland in prize fighter back in November. Felt the weight of Johannesson's left hand.
Johanneson looking for the body punches, and he's landed a couple of decent ones with a left and a good jab.
Sykes was a really good amateur, you know. Fought for Cleckheaton Amateur Club, beat John Murray as a lad. John now a European champion, maybe moving on to a world title shot before the end of the year. At least that's what he'll hope. He's sitting at ringside tonight, going to be defending his European title before long. And that's good work from Sykes.
Yeah, it followed some decent punches from Johanneson, got himself out of trouble, and then nice uppercut from Gary Sykes.
He's just lost composure a bit here, Sykes, you sense. And Johanneson will take heart from this. He's having a better round.
Yeah, he's not moving as much as Gary Sykes. I think Johanneson maybe just troubled him a little bit with some body shots early in this round, just slowed him down.
Well, that's a pain which stays with you. Every fighter will tell you that. If you get hit hard to the body. Johanneson significantly slower on his feet than Sykes, though, and you see there what Richie Woodall was talking about as he lunges in behind that right hand. The footwork not great, but then when Sykes is in front of him, a really good solid right hook did find the target.
But he's landing with the solider punches in this round, Johanneson.
Has he landed enough, though?
Sykes slowed down slightly, and there's good shots inside the left hooks.
Well, that catches the eye, the little flurry from Sykes, but not doing any real damage to Johanneson, who's maintaining his composure and is starting to step in. He's looking for Sykes now.
Yeah, for me, a better round for Johanneson, this one. Just started to trouble Gary Sykes slightly.
Yeah, you just feel that Carl Johanneson with that round is starting to fancy it more. Let's see what Johnny Nelson thinks up in the studio. Johnny?
You can see Carl Johanneson's boxing in quarters. The first 3 rounds he did nothing. tried to put the pressure on Sykes. Sykes being smart, using the ring, using left to right, using the jab, arguing with his corner because he wants to jump on Johanneson straight away. But now, into the 4th round, Johanneson starts to put the pressure on. More successful body shots, more successful head shots, pinning him up against the rope, and that's what he wants. He wants him to toe-to-toe with him. He wants him to get macho with him. He wants to get into a war with him because Sykes is good at using the ring. Sykes is good at making you miss. So Johanneson needs him to stand there in front of him. So this is working perfectly for Johanneson to stand straight in front of him. Second quarter of his fight, you'll see for the next 2 rounds, he'll change it again and step it up again the 2 rounds after that.
Well, very little between them statistically. Similar number thrown, similar number landed, success rate pretty much the same. And that's how you've scored it, Glenn. You've given Johanneson the last round to square it up.
Yeah, I've got this pretty even, all to fight for. Neither one has got the strength in the fight yet. Neither one's took command of this fight. Different styles, but it's now Sykes who's going to try and make a name for himself.
Clearly starting to warm up this one in the 5th round. Always looked as though it would be a combination of styles which could make for a fascinating fight. You've got the mover with the hand speed against the gnarled veteran with the power in Carl Johanneson. Big round this 5th one. That's a good left hand from Johanneson. And Sykes felt that one, wants to backpedal again.
It's eye-catching, fast punches, isn't it, from Sykes? He looks good, the crowd react, has a good little spell, but in the meantime, Johanneson just keeps pushing away, just keeps doing unspectacular but solid punches going in.
Learns his trade as a professional over in the United States, Carl Johanneson. Twice he was a combined services champion as an amateur. As a professional, he's always had respect, even though he's not been one of the big ticket sellers of the game. He's always commanded respect as a hard man. Is it a final throw of the dice, or can he regain this British title? Gary Sykes forced to cover up again.
Well, I think this could come down to a test of strength, fitness, to a test of wills, and who wants this more.
Johanneson hasn't had a stoppage victory since he beat Michael Gomez back in 2007. But he'll just take a bit of heart, I think, with the way things have gone over the last couple of rounds, as the speed has gone out of the legs of Sykes, and the champion is now right there in front of him. Good jab.
Yes, he worked that jab so well. It's solid punch. He's landing with a couple of big wild swings as well every now and again, Johanneson, but the body punches just seem to be chipping away at Sykes. 2 good left hooks going in there from him, and Sykes having to work very hard.
Well, it's interesting, Sykes was saying to his corner he wanted to get into a tear-up. They were imploring him to just work on the boxing. The way this fight's going, though, it looks as though a tear-up is precisely what he's going to have to resort to, because the speed in the legs has now gone. He's right in front of Johanneson. Interesting round, this one, Glenn.
It is quite a close round. Maybe a few more punches landed from Gary Sykes, but Johanneson certainly making his presence felt in there.
I want you to draw blood on his nose straight away here. Okay.
Well, Martin Williams there in the Carl Johanneson corner said rather dramatically in the Green Mile line, he's a dead man walking.
Well, he's got a little bit more spring in his step than that. Certainly, there's a lot left in Gary Sykes. He's having to work very hard, though, and I think Johanneson is feeling more and more confident.
How do you score that last round, Glenn? Because it was a tight one, it could
very
be important.
Tight one. I just thought he threw slightly more punches, Gary Sykes, although Johanneson getting closer and making his presence felt with those solid body punches.
There we go, it's like that. Close rounds can be where fights are determined if it goes the distance. I'd have to beg to differ on that one. I thought that Johansson's body shots took their toll, but Sykes has come out here with a bit more spring in his step. Good fight, though. Always likely to be so. Not quite scaled the heights yet, but still time to go. Not yet at the halfway stage. from Kevin Mitchell, who can be a hurtful punch. Oh, goodness me, now. Sykes smiles a little bit ruefully. That was a good shot.
Yeah, he felt the power there.
I was just going to say that Johanneson's only been beaten really by stinging punches, and the fight is now really starting to open up. And is it starting to open up in Johanneson's favour? Sykes again just using the arm. The referee's told him off about that already. Elbow coming into play. Good work from Johanneson.
Yeah, solid left, solid right. Works away at the body. The fast punches from Gary Sykes, but they hit the gloves.
Well, Sykes is going to have to get into the trenches here, to coin a well-used boxing cliche. Johanneson is right in front of him, forcing the pace, and he's trying to make it his style of fight with body shots like that.
John, I think he's been in the trenches for 1 or 2 rounds now. Certainly with those body punches going in.
Tough fight. Johanneson not been in any real trouble yet. Sykes hasn't got that big punch power. Those hurtful body shots that Johanneson was loading up on. No cheers from the crowd, but take our word for it, they hurt.
Neither one's gained superiority in there yet, have they?
No.
It's to-in and fro-in. One having success with fast hands, the other solid, strong punches.
Still absolutely in the melting pot, this fight. Nearing the halfway stage. Bookies had Sykes a 9-4 on favourite, remember, when the action began. Well, Johanneson as the outsider, he's still very much in there, pitching and believing that he can regain this British title. Good finish to the round, though, from Sykes.
There's nothing left. Don't get careless. Don't get careless. You've still got the power. You've still got to respect that. Yeah. But when you back him up, bend that right hand straight round there, just like Johanneson did, and then straight over the top. Everything we've worked on, son. All right. This is it. You're looking beautiful.
Referring there to Lever Johanneson, who was the sharp puncher who twice accounted for Carl Johansson. They've studied the tapes and they believe that they've got the armoury which will account for Carl Johansson. Johansson, though, they also said, is starting fast in the first 30 seconds. Here's how Glenn's got it. A couple of rounds to Sykes.
Yeah, just pulling away a little bit for me with the fast punches.
Take a look at how the bookies have got. Well, the bookies agree. Not too much change there. It's narrowed slightly. Sykes 15-8 on. Johansson are still very competitive, 11-8.
Well, he's still very competitive in the ring. Good right hand, the body, right uppercut to the head. The jabs work well from Carl Johansson.
It's fascinating, as you said, Glenn. It's toing and throwing. There's no set pattern to the fight. This is what good fights are all about. When you talk about the forehand and you speak to different people, you get different ideas. How's it going to unfold? And this could still go either way. But Johansson now is starting to try to unload. He senses maybe that Sykes was feeling the weight of those punches, and he now wants to hold on.
Yeah, you heard him with an overhand right to the side of the head. Just dazed him a little bit. Then he obviously sensed the weakness in him and started throwing punches.
Sykes again has to dig deep and threw a great right uppercut of his own. Tremendous action here in the 7th round.
But when he lets those combinations go, Sykes, he leaves himself open. He's got to be careful.
The hooks are the danger punches from Johansson when he switches to the head.
Yes, Johansson does a roundhouse right and left hook which land on the side of the head. Dangerous hard punches.
Good work from Sykes, though. He caught Johansson with a good counter as he came inside. Chance go up for Sykesy, for Gary Sykes, the man from Dewsbury, just down the road from here in Huddersfield. where this fascinating British Super Featherweight title is still very much in the balance. Excellent fight.
It's been a good round. Johanneson landed the solider punches in this one. Hurt Sykes a little bit, you feel.
Last 30 seconds could be key in catching the judge's eye. Sykes onto his bike, trying to use that mobility. Well, that's a close round, and again, interesting to see how the judges will score that.
Keep it long, catch him on the way in, yeah? Distance.
Martin Williams in the ring, Derek Roach over the ropes, speaking to Carl Johanneson.
Box this one. Jab to the body, right hand over.
Definitely hurt Sykes at one stage in that round. Now we move into the 8th, and Johanneson was being told he's trying to pace himself, leave something for the closing rounds. They're saying get out there and put the pressure on again. Did you score that last round to Johanneson, Glenn?
I did. I thought he had the better spells in the fight. Sykes gasping for a bit of breath towards the end of the round and moving around the ring just to get some rest.
Right hand from Sykes, looked as though it strayed low, but the referee, Marcus McDonnell, allows the action to continue. A lot of punches have been thrown in this fight. It's been fought at a fierce pace.
What's the 8? What's the 8?
Good work from Sykes. Although a couple of those punches in that flurry were taken on the arms of Johanneson. He has that methodical sort of walk forward air about him. Doesn't go through the gears as some fighters do, but he keeps on coming.
I think that's also the thing to watch, John. That's often Sykes unloads with a barrage of punches, but they hit the gloves. They're not really getting through, not scoring punches.
Judges, experienced referees in Steve Gray, Mark Green and John Keane, sitting at ringside. If it goes the distance, it's down to them.
We're getting two very different styles. Fast arm punches from Sykes, solid bludgeoning punches from Johanneson.
I saw Carl Johanneson years back fighting. He was on the bull over in the States first time I saw him, and I had a look at him and thought, yeah, this guy can fight a bit, and here he is all those years later. He's had the title in the past, never quite got to European level, but hoping to regain. Gary Sykes, of course, a very proud champion, and in his own town he is very much the Yorkshire hero.
I sense Sykes is just starting to feel the pace a little bit in this round. Johansson's done well.
Sykes' mouth is just starting to hang open a bit as he tries to suck in more air. Sometimes a sign that a fighter's feeling the pace and he wants to get away here and just buy himself a few seconds.
Yes, often Johanneson unspectacular, but the work is solid, is good, is taking its toll on Gary Sykes.
Conditioning now absolutely vital. We're reaching that stage of the fight, coming towards the end of the 8th. Johanneson was putting the pressure on Sykes once more. It could be that the gap has narrowed again. That's the way me and Glenn have got it. Ed now is with Richie Woodall.
Well, Richie, first of all, how are you scoring it now?
It could be either way by a round. That's the way I've got it. But the longer this contest is going on, Ed, I'm more impressed with Johanneson now because gradually he's bringing Gary Sykes into him at close range. He's slowed those feet down, he's targeting the body, and he has actually slowed Gary Sykes down a little bit. The problem for Sykes, he's got a low left hand, and I'm amazed that Carl Johanneson hasn't hit the target more with the right hand over the top. But as the fight keeps going on, that's going to be the danger punch that he's got to watch out for. Sykes has got to up the work rate a little bit here. He's gone back. He's gone to single shots when he should be throwing 2s and 3s. Johanneson's slowing the pace down, and it's suiting him.
So in a word, who wins now?
Who wins now? I'm still going to go for Sykes.
Big call. Sykes, the champion. Sometimes say you have to win big to take the belts, particularly when you've got all the support pretty much as Gary Sykes has. But Carl Johanneson, there's this attempted swing with that right hand over the top, still very much with a very live chance of winning this fight. 4 rounds. Oh, right hand, there it is. That's the one that he wanted. And Johanneson looks across and sees Sykes back on his feet. But what a tremendous shot. He needed to find it. And now can Sykes somehow find a way to withstand what's sure to be a barrage of big punches now from Carl Johanneson, who's looking to finish the fight right here and right now. The right hand, that was the one he needed, and he found it to perfection, and Sykes is holding on in desperation. These are really anxious times for the champion, and Johanneson could be on the cusp of regaining his title.
Johanneson looks strong. He obviously listened to Richie Woodall for that right hand, but now he's letting all the punches go in. Sykes tries bravely to throw something back.
Has Johanneson punched himself out? Sykes has regained his composure. Oh, what a fight! If Sykes had a slight advantage before this round, that has put it right back with the veteran Johanneson back in his court.
But Johanneson obviously a little bit tired.
He threw a lot, Glenn. He's gasping now.
Sykes regrouping and getting some jabs, but still a big round for Carl Johanneson. Just needs to get some breath, needs to get a little bit back, Johanneson.
Well, he gambled, he threw everything at Sykes. Sykes withstood it, and now it is Johanneson who's feeling the pace. Another attempt at that big right hand, which was what put Sykes down.
Sykes isn't being busy. He should have thrown more punches now, as nothing's coming back from Johanneson, but he's give Johanneson time to just get his breath back.
If there was a worry in Sykes' mind about his ability to take a punch, Gary Buckland exposed that. Now Carl Johanneson has done the same. But the veteran now is really feeling the pace, and Sykes responds now. Good work from Sykes. Good right hand, but Johanneson came back with a solid left hook of his own.
Yeah, Johansson's landing some decent punches now. He needed to, though. Some good shots from Gary Sykes.
All about conditioning and strength now, not just boxing ability. This is the long hours of preparation, and who's going to be fittest and strongest as it comes down the stretch. Sykes finishes on top, but a big round for Carl Johanneson.
That's what champions do. That's what champions do. He's blown his fucking wad now.
Apologies for the language in the corner. Understandably, emotions are running high. Let's look again, Glenn. There's that right hand.
What a right hand. Really wound it up and let it go, and he did so well, Gary Sykes, to take that punch, because that was landed with full momentum, full weight behind that punch from Johanneson.
But didn't Sykes dig deep and come back well?
He did. He had a good end of the round and showed some bravery, and showed, as his corner said, what champions are made of. But he's got the fight. He's leading now, Johanneson.
Well, change of favourite now with 3 rounds to go. Carl Johanneson, who started the outsider at 13-8, is now 6-4 on to regain his title into the 10th. Johanneson put an awful lot into that last round, though. Sykes, the younger man, maybe the fitter man, certainly the bigger man, and at the weight could be the stronger man.
Well, you sense now Gary Sykes is going to have to commit, so Johanneson can just sit back a little bit and wait for the counter.
Sykes needs big rounds now. Could be that he needs all 3 in order to hang on to his title. There's the right hand from Johanneson. This time, not quite on the mark, and Sykes was able to roll with it slightly, and then mount his own flurry of punches by way of response. Good work, and the crowd on their feet.
Well, it's showing bravery, but he's got to be careful as he has that attack. Sykes, don't leave yourself open.
I had one suggestion in the run-up to this, that this could turn out to be a domestic calm Maidana. Well, it's maybe not quite got to that, but it is another terrific fight that we're enjoying here. We've had a run of them, and this is another one, absolutely top draw.
Well, the British title fights over the years, we've had some great ones. Everybody wants that Lonsdale belt. And obviously a lot of pride. This is a Yorkshire derby, as well as a British title fight.
They're not running around in Rolls Royces on the back of victory here, but what they do emerge from is pride that will stay with them for the rest of their life. And Sykes is really having to dig deep.
He's digging deep, he's getting the better of this round.
Good work as he puts Johanneson onto the back foot and landed with a concussive right hand in the last punch of that exchange. Johannesson's looking to load up on that big right hand every time now, just about, as he gets in range.
Heads banged together there. Johanneson got the worst of it.
Mercifully, not seeing any cuts of any significance so far in this. Been a better round for Sykes.
I wonder how much Johannesson's lost psychologically by not managing to get the stoppage. He really punched himself out, and I think he thought he was going to get Sykes, and Sykes has come back well. Just took a little bit of spirit away from Johanneson.
A little bit of belief, maybe, has just sapped away from the older man. He really threw everything at him in the previous 3 minutes. How much has he got now? Good work again from Sykes. Excellent uppercut in close. Been a better round for Sykes. They said he needed to show a champion spirit, and that's what he's produced. Good round for the champion, Johnny Nelson. What a fight.
Unbelievable. Sykes, you thought his heart had been broken, but his character is pulling him through. Got put down, came back the same round, tried to fight back. Johannesson's trying to wait, trying to set the shot up, but he's waiting too long, so he's giving Sykes that confidence. Now he came back, Sykes did the right thing that round, jumped on him, tried to use the movement, tried to use the speed, and that's what worked for him. Take the confidence away from Johanneson. But what Johannesson's doing is waiting too long. Sykes to take the centre of the ring, but quick combinations, gets the judge's eye, gets his confidence up, takes that confidence away from Johanneson. That's what he needs to do. That's what you do if you put down the round before. Come back strong. It's his character that's bringing him through. It's his character that's getting to this point.
10 seconds, corners.
Well, what a fight we have got. And now, as time ticks down, can Sykes somehow turn this one around? Excellent round he produced in the 10th. Johanneson, big round in the 9th. And this is how Glenn's got it now with 2 rounds to go. Just 1 point, 1 point.
1 point for Johanneson. Now who's got what left? I thought it might come down to heart and will and strength, and who wants this more? Both have shown bags of all of it, haven't they?
Hunger, isn't it? Who's got it? It's a fight which hasn't lacked too much by way of spirit, and terrific work again from Sykes as he puts Johanneson onto the back foot. Good right hand, really thudded through the guard of Johanneson. Penny for the thoughts of Frank Maloney, who looks after both these fighters. He's living every moment of it at ringside, shouting his encouragement to both men as Sykes starts to pile on the pressure again. He is really upping the work rate, upping the ante, absolutely when it's necessary.
Yep, showing himself to be a true champion. Great work from Gary Sykes at this part of the fight.
Could be that we're going to go into the last 3 minutes, into the last round, with it on the line over those 3 minutes. It was a 25-1 shot, the draw. There's a very, very real possibility that it could wind up that way. Johanneson had Sykes down in the 9th round, but what a response it's been from the champion once he regained his composure.
Johanneson not doing a lot. It's been nice eye-catching work from Sykes in and out of range, using his speed.
Johanneson really blowing now, and there was a laboured look to that right hand as he tried to tee it over the top, and Sykes came back and bullied him across the ring with that succession of punches which all found their target. The defences of Johanneson are starting to go now as well. Sykes maybe senses 30 seconds to go in the 11th that he can pile on the pressure. His corner are imploring him to keep coming forward and just maintain this pressure. Good work again from Sykes.
Yep, really got the crowd going in this round. Showing good speed and skill, and obviously worked very hard in the gym, Sykes. Johanneson is blowing a bit. Much harder work from him.
What a good round from Gary Sykes. Really was an excellent 3 minutes. Let's have a listen to the corner.
We don't buy that, but they've got it even. Okay? Now, do you know what I want from you now? Behind the high guard, I ain't joking now. I want 100 shots from you. At least 100.
I don't mean you go running after him, Carl. Just be clever now.
Last round, okay? Last round.
If you have to take a half a step back, draw him on and do that left hook we're doing the dress.
He's got nothing left. Shots.
Just keep pumping the arms into
100 shots, 100 shots. Straight in.
Throw him in.
Earmuffs on, drive him back, pin him in his own corner.
Yeah. This is a chance to turn this around, big time, yeah? Deep breathing.
He wants to come.
What a difference in corners. Julian McGowan and Chris Aston, about as animated as you possibly can be. Johansson's cornermen, Martin Williams, Derek Roach, all together, more cool, more composed. Now listen to this, a standing ovation from this Huddersfield crowd. The two touch gloves, the two smile. It has been a terrific fight.
Well, Glenn's got it absolutely level. For me, it's all on the last 3 minutes. These two have given us a great contest, and who's got that much left?
Sykes will try and impress with superior work rate. You heard Johanneson being told, just step back, half a step, look for that left hook, then the right hand. But Sykes trying to be the boss in there, trying to force Johanneson back. There's the left hand from Johanneson, that's what he's looking for. The knockdown round presumably would have been scored 10-8 to Johanneson. Sykes started well and he's finished well.
Yeah, good, fast, crisp work, eye-catching stuff from Gary Sykes. He's got the centre of the ring. He's pushing Johanneson on the back foot.
Needs this round though, Sykes. He was told that by his corner, and he's trying to get out there and deliver. The chants of Sykesy again reverberate round this big sports centre.
Well, Sykes in the last round is fighting like the man that wants it more, and that might be the deciding factor.
Younger man, maybe the fitter man, and now with little more than a minute to go, just looking to see it through to the bell, and then we see how the judges have got it.
Walked onto a big left hook there, Sykes, and then a body shot just stopped him in his tracks.
Not too much in these punches from Sykes now, but he's landing, and that's the key. Right hand just caught Johanneson on the jaw. Johanneson looking for the one big payoff punch again. Right hand's the danger punch. That swing over the top. Oh, and only missed by a whisker.
But straight back from Sykes, letting the punches go in, making sure of this last round. Crisp, accurate, hard work from Gary Sykes. Is it enough?
This has been an excellent fight, Glenn. The Lonsdale belt is the trophy they're going for. Gary Sykes has got it at the moment. Carl Johanneson has had it in the past. 5 times he's fought for the British title before this. Here looking to regain lost ground, but has that flurry in the 9th round proved not enough. Sykes wins the last round, a tremendous contest. Now it's down to how the judges have seen it. Sykes, for me, winning rounds 10, 11 and 12, and it might have brought him back from behind to retain his title. But what a brave effort from Carl Johanneson, and who knows, some of the rounds around the mid-stage of the fight were close. If Johansson's power shaded those, he might have done enough. But what an excellent fight.
Fantastic fight. Everybody in this hall is on their feet. They're all applauding, not just their man, but both men for putting up a tremendous contest. So hard fought, and the judges have got it on their hands to pick a winner here.
Close all the way, Glenn, wasn't it?
Yeah, it started with some good jabs and some fast flurries from Johanneson, but then Sykes started to get the range, started to get his crisp boxing going, and really took a little lead in the fight. But Johanneson was always there, was always coming back with strong punches, solid to the body. At times he took the wind out of the sails of Gary Sykes, but Sykes was always looking to come back, always looking to show that he's the champion, that this title has to be ripped away from him.
Johanneson had landed some big body shots though, and a number of those uppercuts, and here was the knockdown.
Yeah, the 9th round proved a big round for Carl Johanneson. That overhand right sending Gary Sykes crashing and looking like the fight was over, but Sykes showed real courage, real heart, real determination to fight his way back round after round, and definitely finishing the better man. But is it enough to give him the win? Certainly on my card, looked to be enough the last round for Gary Sykes.
Excellent fight, it really was. Sykes, does he think he's won it? They both know they've been in a fabulous fight. Now here is the verdict. Will Sykes retain his title, or will it be Johanneson back as champion?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you'll agree we've witnessed a candidate for Fight of the Year that was sensational. And referee Marcus McDonald would like you to show your appreciation before I read the judges' scorecards for what can only be described as a sensational contest. The 3 judges' scorecards: Steve Gray scores the contest 116-112, Mark Green 115-112, and John Keane 115-113. All 3 judges are in favour of the winner. And still, the British Super Featherweight Champion from Dewsbury, Gary Sykes.
By 4 rounds, 3 rounds and 2 rounds, Sykes retains his title. Johanneson gave him a terrific fight, and lovely to see that show of respect between the two of them. I wonder if that might turn out to be a final throw of the dice for Carl Johanneson. If that is the end of a career, well, what a terrific account he gave of himself. And in that 9th round, for a few precious seconds, it looked as though he was about to knock Gary Sykes out. But it's what champions are made of, Dave, and Gary Sykes came back and kept his title.
Well, this is the moment when he heard the words "still", British Super Featherweight Champion. An agonising wait after a tight, tense fight, but Gary Sykes wins the Yorkshire Derby. We'll be hearing from him and a very gallant opponent, Carl Johanneson, in a couple of minutes' time.